today we are reviewing probably the most iconic hike in the Dolomites, which is called Tre Cime de LAVAREDO. And I will just start saying that this walk is a 10 out of 10. Like, it is just beautiful. This walk literally has it all. It has the most stunning views. It has very different landscapes. It's like every time you turn a corner, you're like, oh, this is just more and more beautiful. But also it's like very little effort for the reward that you get, which with a baby is quite nice because you do have to carry them. That being said, with not crazy effort, there's definitely plenty of detours that you can take to make the hike a little bit harder if you feel like you just want to do something extra.
Adi, this is a geography lesson for you, but you're about to fall asleep, so I'll record it. But in the Dolomites here in the Tre Cimes, Tre Cimes? Yeah, that's the one. That's where we are. So, watching a geography show last night, and I do know some geologists, so they might get angry if I get any of this wrong. But these formations here, 280 million years ago, this whole area was underwater, and lots of crustaceans, I think they're crustaceans.
Fossils?
I think they did a lot of shagging for millions of years and built up miles and miles of themselves. So that's all the leftovers of their shagging 280 million years ago, and that compounded and compressed, obviously became rock. And then the Eurasian, after Gondwana, the European continent and the African continent, they wanted to get jiggy with it. So, Adi, you're up good.
We might get flagged for explicit content.
They wanted to get jiggy with it, and then the African plate went down on the European plate. Mm-hmm. That's the terminology we're going to use. And that forced up a huge mountain range over millions of years. And that's why something from the bottom of the ocean is now some of the tallest stuff.
So wait, does that mean that actually Italy is on the African plate?
No. What we hear is this is part of the European plate. It's been forced up because the African plate's gone underneath.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and because the point of contact that they have between the plates creates a lot of friction, a lot of magma upflow. That's why you get Vesuvius and Mount Etna.
Yeah.
And those are actually, because as it goes down, there are wells of magma that goes up.
Yeah.
And that's why there's not a lot of volcanic activity, but that's where you get it from. So yeah, this is the leftovers from 280 million years ago of the ocean floor.
The Tre Cime de LAVAREDO is actually in the national park, and you have to pay 30 euros per car to drive in, and your ticket is valid until midnight. That's not cheap, but it is really, really, really worth it. Like, we would do it all over again, just like that. Also, I would suggest you go quite early because the car park does fill up very quickly. Like, we arrived at 8:15 and the car park was actually pretty full already. Like, there were definitely some still car park spots left, but I mean, it was quite full already. That being said, I think other people suggest that you just go later in the day, and then there's a lot less people as well. But with Ardi, it just works out better if we do it in the morning. If you do decide to do it in the afternoon, check the weather forecast, because we have heard that in the afternoon there's more chance of rain and thunderstorms. So yeah, that's probably also a reason why we've done it in the morning. So for this walk, we actually took our normal baby carrier, because the day before, as you might have seen in our previous video, we did Lago di Serapis, and it really, like, Ardi at the end just had an absolute meltdown. Like, he just hated it. And he sleeps better in our normal carrier. And because the hike is not so challenging, we knew it was possible to just take our normal carrier, and then also we could take turns. So the first half of the walk, you actually follow this gravel road that is also being used to drop off groceries and collect garbage from the refugios. And I actually carried him on that part. And honestly, it was pretty easy. Like, I wouldn't say it's much harder than a walk in the park. That being said, I did have the walking sticks as well, just because with the gravel road, you never know if you are gonna slip, and then it's just safer. We already took some risks on the Lago di Serapis hike, and we just didn't want to do it again. Ardi did sleep the entire hour and a half that it took us to go to do the first half. So, I mean, that was already a great start of our day, but that just also shows you that you don't have to do any crazy bits there. Like, it really is very, very easy. I think even it's not technical at all. I think even on that first part, let's say the first 2-3 kilometers, you could probably take your stroller. It would have to be a proper stroller, like we have the Thule Urban Glide, so with proper tires, but you could do it. And then, so you're definitely not alone on that trail. So up to the first peak, so where you're actually standing right next to the Tre Cimes, there's lots and lots of people there. It doesn't feel annoying because the path is very wide, but also everybody's going in the same direction. And also everybody's there just to enjoy the views. And the landscape is so vast, like, I don't know, I feel like it's almost impossible to get annoyed there. And then after the Tre Cime, after those peaks, it actually thinned out quite a bit. So I think a lot of people, they just take a tour bus up to go to see the Tre Cimes, which is probably the easiest part anyway, up to there. And then they might just return, or I think you could, yeah, and then they just might return. So it definitely thins out quite a bit after that. Also, everybody on those walks is super, super friendly, especially if you are if you're there with a baby. Like, it's not like, although there's plenty of kids around, the majority obviously isn't yet with a baby. Yeah, and it's just everybody says hello to you, and everybody's just in the same good mood as you are. This is our happy place. Of the walk will take you up to Refugio Locatelli, and that's where we had a bit of a stop. We had some cake there, and it really has like the most beautiful views there. I would definitely recommend a bit of a stop there. At the Refugio, having some hot chocolate, a few cakes. Ja, dat was een goed. Ja.
What's going on, Ardi?
Ardi woke up. Once you leave the Refugio, you start to go down, and it's quite a big descent. And because of the path, like the rocks that could sort of slip, it's definitely a little bit more technical over there. So we use our hiking poles as well. but it's still quite doable. And then after the descent, you have quite a big incline. It's quite steep, and because you're already at, I don't know, 2,000 something meters high, it just all feels a little bit harder as well. So I would think you need like reasonable fitness. But that being said, if you feel like it's a bit of a struggle, just take your time, enjoy the beautiful scenery. There's plenty of places to stop and have like a picnic or have a little snack, or just rest and just enjoy it. Like this, nobody's rushing you. It is just, yeah, it's just beautiful. There's no crazy things to mention about this hike. I would rate it as easy to medium difficult. Easy. I think for us it was really easy, but I did see some people that maybe were struggling a little bit more. But I don't think it's undoable for anybody. Like it's just, and it really is just worth it. Like it was so beautiful to be up there. It's just absolutely stunning, and it's definitely worth doing it with a baby as well. Like we saw plenty of kids up there, toddlers that are sort of half walking, having carried themselves, babies, other babies in the carrier. Like it's just phenomenal up there. Like it's so beautiful. Hi, my little mountaineer. I think how good was that, huh? Whoa. So I think in total that one is about 10.5K. We took 2 longer breaks, and it took us about 5 hours in total. And it took us about 5 hours in total. So 2.5K to go?
I think so.
Yeah, blue.
Your hands if you love the Dolomites.